madness in college football? Is it over? Are we finally through the thick and thin of it? And Joe Burrow, can he bounce back in this next game, traveling all the way to Jerry World for this new revamped Sans Dak Prescott Cowboys? Not new, revamped. We know how this is going to go. Let's go. Roll the intro. Welcome to the New Wincy Show.
Good morning, afternoon, evening. I'm Garrett. This is the New Wincy Show.
We're going to Super Bowl!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is G Money. It is great to see everyone again today. We have gotten so much stuff over this past weekend. The Bengals, obviously, we're going to talk about that later, and we're going to talk about how we can bounce back from that grueling loss at home to start off the season. But week one madness is always week one madness. We can't do anything about something like that. So obviously we can't dwell on that too much, but I want to start off with college football. My Alabama Crimson Tide won in a more than nail biter against the Texas Longhorns. And so we can officially say everyone horns down. Thank you. I appreciate all of you for helping me with this cause of horns downing all the time, because we are anti-Texas in my household, not here on the New Wincy Show. If you are a Texas fan, I appreciate you, and I do believe Quinn Ewers is a great quarterback, and I do believe you guys have a great team. And honestly, we didn't deserve to win that game, and I know we can't say that because we have the one in the win column. But I mean, it's just hard to analyze a game like that where so much stuff happened and so much chaos ensued and just everything. So, but moving forward, the entire slate of college games last weekend was incredible. It was great to watch. I really think that was probably one of the best weeks of college football that I have experienced in a while. And so I really do. I'm really excited about the future. You've heard me talk about how good I think all these SEC teams are. Ohio State is just dominant over there in the Big Ten right now. That it looks like they're not going to be stopped worth anything. And I mean, Georgia just looks almost unbeatable. They look like the unquestioned number one team in college football right now. So it's a little bit tight squeeze up there at the top with three dominant powerhouses in Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State. But I mean, we're just going to see how these weeks go and how teams can pile on wins and continue to win and get better and progress and move forward, with their team. And hopefully one of these teams can go and prove someone wrong and make something out of nothing. So I'm just really excited for the rest of the season. This coming week, this Saturday, is a little bit on the not lame but more quiet weekends of college football. We've got the Ohio, I think, battle for the Ohio Bell or something, battle for I don't remember what UC fans call it, but it's a University of Cincinnati versus Miami, Ohio. That's the only real notable game that I think anybody would pay too much attention to who's listening to this, but to each their own. That's something that I can't really control. But I hope you enjoy the game either way. I'm going to pay attention to it because I appreciate all of you, and I feel like it's my due diligence to pay attention to all of college football to keep all of you prepared and ready for draft season when it does come around, because those players are just as important as our players on the team right now, because they could be on our team eventually. So moving on, I want to talk a lot about this Bengals game, and I want to go back all the way to week one of preseason when I said I thought the Bengals offense should have played snaps in preseason. And I know Zim and Ace might not have the same thought process as me, but I believe that we should have played in preseason, and I think it was important to at least get an entirely new offensive line with 4 new starters. They needed to play together. They needed to play together before week one, because the even though I do understand Joe does like to hold the ball, and there's a lot of things that go into something like that. But I'll get into that later. But they needed to play snaps. Everything on there, the cadences were not right. Everybody was rushed, and it doesn't help that Joe had to recover from an appendix surgery, so he had to miss days and days of practice where they could have been getting their cadences down, shaking all the rust off. But like Zim said in the Wincinnati podcast earlier this week and before, I'd rather go into a year healthy with rust rather than not healthy and not have rust. I'd rather have our team be able to play than us and us be rusty than nobody being able to play next week. So honestly, it's a give and take there. I'm not really not too worried about how our offense is going to go. That's a fluke game. Joe probably played one of his worst professional or collegiate or high school football games in his entire life. And I was listening to the Locked On Bengals podcast. Shout out to them, Jake and James. They do great work over there. And they were talking about, everybody in Bengals media was talking about how Joe just sat and did nothing after that Steelers game, which obviously ended with such a disappointing conclusion for all of us Bengals fans. Steelers fans, I'm sure, were really excited about it, considering that was their Super Bowl for this year. Congratulations, you won the first game of the year. I just really think that our team is better than that, and I think they all know that too. And our defense looked incredible. We had 17 points off of turnover, most all of them in Joe's hands. I mean, interception after interception after interception after turnover-worthy play after turnover-worthy play after turnover-worthy play after penalty, after bad calling, after bad reads, after what have you. It was just not good for most of the offense out there. Defense played great. Defense gave up 6 total points the entire game, not off of turnovers. So 17 points off of turnover. You don't win a lot of games when you turn over 5 times. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say about that, but you don't really win a lot of games when you turn it over 5 times. That being said, I am extremely confident Joe Burrow will not do that for the rest of the year. I think that it's out of him. I think that rust is done. I think that this whole lot of revenge, season 3 Burrow babies, is about to become lit because we are going to march into Jerry World, and Joe might not even crack a smile all day. I think it's going to be business is business for week after week after week, game after game, snap after snap. Joe is going to dominate and dissect your defense like it is a little baby piece of cake that he is taking apart and just eating and eating and eating. And Joe is just going to tear all of these defenses apart. And I don't have any doubt in my mind that there's going to be any different of an outcome. He's too good of a player, and his teammates are too good around him for all that stuff to happen again. Obviously, we had multiple chances to win that game, and I know it would have been a different story if we came out with a win, but still, I think I'd be preaching the same thing, and I think all of us would be thinking the same thing and hoping that Joe is able to make better decisions this week and can accelerate our offense into a different level, because we all know we have the best wide receiver trio in the league. We have a top 5 back. We have a top 3 quarterback. And if our offensive line can go and get our cadences down and our play calling can stay solid and hard and in there, I have no doubt that we're gonna knock some people's socks off after this week, because our defense looked stellar. Other than the only huge downside that we have right now is we don't have Clark Harris, but we've already re-signed another long snapper. So the only thing that I'm worried about is that their cadences might be off, but still, I mean, Evans just automatic. Give him a semi-decent snap and hold, and he's probably going to make it. As long as Huber's not reaching and the snap's not late, it's gonna go through the uprights more often than not. So if we can just if we're able to go and keep the consistency on defense, because our defense was dominant over the Pittsburgh offense. Granted, I'd say Pittsburgh offense probably bottom 5 in the league right now, even with their skill players, Najee Harris, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson. But when you have Mitch Trubisky leading that, their offense just wasn't moving against us. And I can't tell if that's a testament to our defense, because it is NFL competition and they are NFL players. They are grown-ass men. I understand that. But is it a testament to their offense as well? Like, are they not as good as we thought they were going to be? And it was just a fluke game? Or are we going to have to worry about this? I don't think, purely because of the stats, that we won't have to worry too much about them. But it is something to consider when looking into the future, because they had our number. Unfortunately, at the end of the game, when Mitch Trubisky had a free play and was able to pull off that rope across the field and to get him into field goal position, and we know Chris Boswell wasn't going to miss twice against the Bengals. So just an unfortunate series of events there. So moving on, the big thing now is going from one elite defense to another, Steelers to Dallas. Trayvon Diggs is going to try to lock up Jamar Chase, and it is up to Jamar to get open, and it's up to Joe to get him the ball early and to get him the ball often to shake up that defense. It is also important to get Joe Mixon the ball early and often as much as he can, with spreading out the ball to his receivers, aka Jamar, Tyler, T. If he's full and 100%, I know with a concussion protocol, he still might be a little shaky on the field, not wanting to take as many snaps. Maybe he's not feeling as well. He's probably itching, but he still could be feeling some symptoms, maybe some drowsiness. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't have all the stuff in front of me at this current moment, but hopefully we're able to get it to our skill position players, and Joe's just able to slice and dice all day. That being said, the offense of the Cowboys sans Dak Prescott. No Dak Prescott. He's out. We are facing against Cooper Rush, and what I do not want is another Mike White game, because our defense knows exactly what we did during the Mike White game, where he looked like the MVP of the league, beat us at the Jets beat us when we traveled to the Jets. We were winning all game, and we just let him underneath. And I promise that will not happen again. We know exactly how they're going to go into this game, and we know exactly how we're going to have to defend against it. So there's not too much to this game. Just let our guys make our plays, and I want to see a lot of single man coverage against our defense or against our offense by Dallas. I want them to try to play the game of my guy is better than yours, and I want to play him like that. And I will play that game all day, because my guy on the Bengals will always beat your guy. I am confident in that. And I'm ready to play whenever you are. I wanted you 20 minutes after the Steelers played. I was ready to play. I knew our team was ready to go. This week is going to be really, really a tone setter for the rest of the year. If we're able to pull off this win tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be something huge. I'm really excited. Maybe we can go and pull out a win. Hopefully it's something, just play ball, baby. It's just what we got to do this week. So nothing much to it. I hope that it comes out in favor. I'm officially canceling my game predictions, at least score-wise. I hope the Bengals take it out on top. I am officially joining the team of I will not say anything until after the game is over and the clock hits 0. So I will leave that there. I am strongly confident in our entire team. I know Micah Parsons is a freak. I know Trayvon Diggs is a freak. Lyle Collins, Jonah Williams, Cordell Volson is going to get barked on a lot when Micah goes inside the tackles. I mean, this defense is going to want to eat him up, and it's going to be a revenge game for them because they have friends on the team. Lael, Cheeto, I mean, they're going to want to go, and Tony Brown starts for Dallas, I believe, now. So there are a lot of mixed faces on this team, and I really think that it's going to be fun and entertaining for all of us to watch. That being said, thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend and an amazing Bengals game day on Sunday. Hooday to all of you. Good morning, afternoon, evening to whenever you tune into this, and good